Looking ahead to next week's slate of games in college football, we in week 8. I mean, we are almost. I think we're halfway through the
I think
season.
it's 7,
I mean,
is it?
I'm pretty sure we're in
Oh, it
week
is
8.
8. That's
I mean,
depressing.
it is depressing to see how quickly this season has gone. But hey, we're really just getting to the meat and potatoes. Don't get too down on it. And then we're gonna have this crazy college football playoff that really could be insane this year. Because
football's longer than it has ever been. It's bleeding into January, February now.
You know, keep it coming.
Yeah,
you know,
March. I would imagine. I would love to run football right up into March Madness.
No off season. Just kill these kids.
Like just for my little entertainment.
Yeah, you know. But we do have some dogs this week. It's time for our Dogs of the Week segment. I'll start off with, listen, I'm going straight to, we talked about both these games yesterday, right? Previewing Georgia and Georgia Tech, and we talked about both of them being live dogs, and I'm going to go with both of them. I think Georgia Tech's got a great chance against Notre Dame to beat the Fighting Irish, who I believe are the most overrated team, close to the top 10. I don't know if they're quite in the top 10, but they're right around that. And then I believe Georgia is going to beat Texas. I think it's, you know, you give guys like Kirby Smart and Nick Saban and these guys that aren't used to being ever predicted to lose. Like, these guys are 5-star athletes that have absolutely dominated in every avenue that they've gone in. Even if they played basketball in high school, they were dominating and winning state championships. They've never been picked to lose, right? You give them that extra chip, and you give a motivator like Kirby Smart that extra chip, and everybody talks about Texas. That's usually a good spot to bet on a team like Georgia or Alabama under Nick Saban. But the other aspect I think that we didn't touch on yesterday, I think that is really important. Georgia's coming into this game with an identity. I don't know, like, if they completely know who they are, but they know a lot more about themselves than they did 3 or 4 weeks ago, because they've been battle tested. They went to Kentucky and went down to the wire. They went to Alabama and went down to the wire. They played Auburn. They played Mississippi State. They played Clemson. Like, they played real football teams. Texas has yet to play a real football team that can throw a forward pass. I mean, seriously, they haven't. They played a bunch of crappy teams. They played Mississippi State, and then they played Texas and Oklahoma, who cannot throw a forward pass. I don't know if they know how to respond when they get punched in the mouth, which they inevitably will at some point in this game. They're not going to go in there and dominate like they did against Michigan and dominate like they did against Oklahoma. Like, they are going to there's going to be response from Georgia. How does Texas respond? They could respond really well, and we'll all be impressed. But I'm going to go with the team with the chip on their shoulder that hasn't lived up to their potential. I know they're going on the road. I think they find a way to get it done.
I'm all over Georgia. That'll be one of my locks of the week. I couldn't be more confident in Georgia going to Austin. I'm not as confident in Georgia Tech, obviously, because the spread is much bigger. Why would you be? I'm going to go to Louisville, Miami. I thought Miami their offense is really, really good. There's no questioning Cam Ward. He's absolutely electric. He'll be a first-round pick. There's no doubt about that. But their defense is absolutely awful. And Louisville's a good football team. You know, one of the best unranked football teams in the country. And it's a less than a touchdown spread. Miami has gone, you want to talk about going down to the wire. Miami every single week seemingly goes down to the wire. Louisville is certainly a live dog. I like Auburn this week too. A lot of people are picking Oklahoma. And I just think, Auburn's one of those teams where you look up and they somehow end up 500 or 7-5, even though every single time we see, Auburn play a football game, it's absolutely atrocious. Want to scrape your eyeballs out. And this one might hurt a little bit, but I would be remiss if I didn't say is Arkansas. LSU is coming off. This is the definition of a sleepy spot for the LSU Tigers. My LSU Tigers is a game you shouldn't have won in Death Valley. LSU, the light show, the 100-year of Tiger Stadium, improbable overtime victory. Brian Kelly, SEC hopes, national championship hopes are alive, resurrected. You go over to sleepy Arkansas against a great Arkansas defense and a quarterback in Taylon Green who can absolutely hurt you in ways that, LSU hasn't really faced thus far in terms of with his mobility. So, I hate to say it, but LSU is maybe the pinnacle of upset alert this week.
Yeah. I'm a little more confident in LSU than you are, simply because I believe, Brian Kelly has been able to get these guys. And you know what? I think LSU is showing some progress on the defensive side of the ball, and Arkansas has really struggled to score
I think the
points.
Under might be the play here. A sneaky under play.
Really struggled to score points. I'm still waiting for the game where LSU's offense really, goes out there and plays a complete game and really goes out there and hangs, 35 points and doesn't turn the ball over. And Garrett Nussmeier, because you see it at times.
Garrett Nussmeier is Brett Favre reincarnated.
You saw it at the end of the game game against Ole Miss what this offense can be. I mean, that was a good Ole Miss defense that stymied this offense the entire game. And then, when you needed him, he goes out there and makes clutch plays after clutch plays after clutch plays. And we've seen that throughout his short LSU career, but I'm waiting for him to play a clean game. And I think if they can do that, they should, and this defense can step up, this game could get ugly. Like, I think LSU matches up well with this Arkansas team. So I'm a little more confident in that one. I love the Louisville pick. I'm really down on Miami. I mean,
it's only a matter of time before somebody beats
frankly,
them.
This was a line that, and this is not always a good thing when you're talking about gambling, but I looked at this and said, Louisville is, first of all, a home underdog against Miami. I mean, this is a Miami team that has been very, very bad. I mean, they have not been a good football team. They beat the hell out of Ball State, they beat the hell out of USF. Did you watch the USF versus Tulane game? Well, I did because I bet on it. Yeah, USF sucks. Yeah. They beat bad football teams bad. They're capable of scoring points. There's no doubt Cam Ward is amazing, but this defense is atrocious. Yeah, and we're talking about one of the worst defenses in the ACC, a conference that sucks at defense. Yes. This is an atrocious defense, and this is a Louisville offense that has weapons on the outside. They can throw the ball downfield. They should have beat Notre Dame on the road earlier in the year. They played a good game against SMU, who SMU is a sneaky team in the ACC. Louisville's been battle tested against way better teams than Miami, and they lost. But at home dog with Miami, a top 5 team, 8 team, whatever they are, coming into their building. Oh my God, I like Louisville money line.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Miami is going to lose at some point. It's just a matter of time. I don't know what their schedule is, but this is a great week to pick them. South Carolina traveling to Norman. I mean, Oklahoma, I don't know when Venables goes back to Jackson Arnold. I think maybe losing in the Red River rivalry as bad as they did was a good lesson served in terms of hey, Jackson Arnold, you're a 5-star recruit, but you're not bigger than the team. You need to have more poise even when things aren't going your way. This might be the moment where they put him back in. But if they don't, South Carolina is going to go to Norman and upset them because South Carolina is a pretty good football team.
Not even an upset.
And Oklahoma is their defense is pretty good. It's average. Their offense, you don't talk about can't complete a forward pass. I mean, if Jackson Arnold isn't in and that freshman is, South Carolina, take them, take the points, take the money line, take them to the house.
Well, that South Carolina offense is going to have trouble scoring against Oklahoma. That South Carolina defense is going to absolutely destroy whatever Oklahoma throws at it. I mean, that's the best pass rush, the best defensive line in the country, and I don't even frankly think it's close. And if they whoever they start doesn't have a lot of experience, they don't have a great offensive line. It's going to be a long day for whoever starts under center. I don't even really consider that an upset, but there's going to be upsets this week. Yeah. I guarantee it's a huge week in college football. It's going to be another one where sit back on your couch, relax. It's going to be a great day.